Welcome to our conversation on the roots of decentralized finance, where we dive into artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and distributed ledger technology.
I'm really excited to unpack these ideas. So, we're looking at a framework that goes well beyond just blockchain, right?
Exactly. It's like instead of simply equating decentralization to distributed ledgers, we're expanding the picture to include AI, big data, and cloud computing, which all play a critical role in
Yeah,
advancing DeFi.
right. And the article points out that decentralization doesn't just mean scattered data. There are so many nuances, like hierarchical governance in some distributed systems.
Absolutely. Notice how they clarify that decentralization isn't automatically disintermediation, it may be a result. It's all about breaking down central infrastructures while achieving cost efficiency, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that leads us into um, one of the foundational principles discussed, like Moore's Law and Kreider's Law. They really set the stage for decreased computing and data storage costs, don't they?
Oh, for sure. It's like because of these laws, you get this exponential growth in processing and storage capacity, which then slashes costs and opens up vast possibilities for machine learning and AI in financial services.
Exactly. Speaking of AI, the piece really drives home how AI isn't just about mimicking human cognition, but about leveraging massive amounts of data for smarter decision making in the DeFi space.
Right. AI here is more than just algorithms. They're like intelligent digital agents performing tasks such as arbitrage, all based on the constant influx of financial data.
Yep. And then there's the point about intellectual property around AI. The article argues that the underlying data is a key asset, which, if public, could compromise competitive advantage.
Exactly, it's like protecting your secret sauce. Businesses look to safeguard what they train on, even going as far as patents or trade secrets on the preprocessing of blockchain data.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, big data seems to be the fuel for all these innovations. It's fascinating how DeFi relies on the digitization of everything to extract actionable insights.
Absolutely. Big data analytics lets us discover patterns or even test relationships we might never have predicted. And platforms like Big Data Protocol are essentially tokenizing this information for liquidity on decentralized exchanges.
I see. And that naturally ties into cloud computing, doesn't it? I mean, distributed or decentralized cloud solutions are the backbone of hosting these services.
Definitely. Cloud computing in the DeFi context, especially decentralized variants, means that instead of relying on one giant data center, you have resources spread across various nodes. This not only gives flexibility, but
Yeah,
can
that makes
dynamically
sense.
route tasks based on cost and efficiency.
That kind of reminds me of um, how our own data moves around in everyday apps. But stepping into distributed ledger technology, it's striking how it reduces trust issues by ensuring data integrity through cryptography and consensus.
Right on. Instead of one insecure centralized ledger, a distributed ledger spreads verification across numerous nodes, making manipulation next to impossible.
Hmm. However, I wonder if there's any trade-off here. I mean, doesn't the reliance on multiple nodes sometimes introduce latency?
That's a fair point. The article does hint at those complexities. While more nodes mean higher security, it can also slow down transaction times if not properly managed. Still, innovations in consensus mechanisms are mitigating many of these concerns.
That's interesting. True. And then there's the concept of smart contracts that run on these distributed ledgers. They're essentially self-executing agreements that remove the middleman.
Exactly. Smart contracts are designed to execute agreements automatically, ensuring transactions are transparent, traceable, and irreversible. It literally redefines trust.
Mm-hmm. It's really like having an impartial judge agreed upon by all parties, but in code instead of paper.
Right? And if you combine that with the other ABCD elements, AI, big data, cloud, and DLT, you get a powerful integrated system that underpins DeFi, shifting finance from the top down to a bottom up, permissionless
Exactly, yes.
ecosystem.
And this new ecosystem is layered, isn't it? You have layer 0 with blockchain, Layer 1 with base financial operations, and layers above that adding more sophistication.
Yes, think of it like a multi-tier cake. Layer 1 is the foundational stablecoin and core payments. Layer 2 introduces lending and borrowing mechanics. And then layers 3 and 4 bring advanced financial products and aggregated user experiences that rival traditional banking apps.
That's a neat analogy. Right, because not only are transactions secure, but everything is open and transparent. That's a major departure from the closed box approach on Wall Street.
Exactly. The inherent transparency of open source protocols in DeFi contrasts sharply with the opaque practices we see traditionally, where you have layers of regulation that can sometimes shield questionable practices.
Indeed. But I have to ask, doesn't this openness expose users to security risks too? I mean, more access to all data might be a double-edged sword.
That's a worthy challenge. Sure, transparency can lead to vulnerabilities, but it's balanced by robust cryptographic protections and consensus mechanisms that make tampering extremely difficult. The trade-offs are carefully managed to keep the system both open and secure.
True, fair enough. And on the topic of innovation, the article looks ahead to a future where even everyday transactions might involve tokenized assets from your portfolio, right?
Yes, exactly. Imagine walking into a store, scanning your phone, and paying with a blend of fiat, Bitcoin, digital collectibles, and even tokenized home equity. It's a seamless cross-asset value transfer system.
That sounds almost sci-fi. It's like the evolution of a digital wallet, making every asset instantly liquid and interchangeable at the point of sale.
Right? And the key here is that these advances are built on the lower costs provided by all these underlying technologies. The combination of improvements in hardware, communication bandwidth, and cloud services plays a key role in making it all feasible.
Exactly. And this idea of integrated value exchange, where every asset becomes part of a universal wallet, really paints a picture of a radically different financial ecosystem.
Absolutely. It reimagines value creation, exchange, and storage in a way that ultimately could bypass traditional banks entirely.
Yeah, it's revolutionary. I love how it's not just about technology, but about democratizing access. DeFi aims to remove barriers, like those seen in conventional finance where your social status or geography might limit your access.
Precisely. Everyone, regardless of where they are, could tap into these open protocols, which is something traditional systems fail at: openness and accessibility.
Right, indeed. And while it sounds like a perfect system in theory, I wonder what kind of regulatory challenges might arise when shifting such critical financial functions to decentralized technologies.
That's a pivotal aspect to consider. The evolving regulatory landscape will have to adapt to fully decentralized systems. But remember, DeFi is inherently global and permissionless, which means regulators have a tough job keeping up without stifling innovation.
I get that. Exactly. It creates a scenario where the balance between consumer protection and fostering innovation is delicate.
Yep, and it's this delicate balance that drives the ongoing dialogue in both tech and policy arenas. We're witnessing how technological growth patterns and infrastructural developments could ultimately redefine financial ecosystems in the coming decade.
Absolutely. So, if we wrap it up, the roots of DeFi through the lens of AI, big data, cloud computing, and DLT present not just technological innovations, but a whole new paradigm designed to be more accessible, transparent, and efficient than the old ways of financial management.
Exactly. It's a shift not only in technology, but in ethos. A move from centralized, opaque systems to integrated, open frameworks that empower a broader audience.
Yeah, and as we move forward, these ideas will likely continue to challenge traditional finance, stimulating debate and inspiring new layers of innovation.
Right. It's an ongoing evolution, and frankly, it's exciting to watch how every piece, from AI to smart contracts, interlocks to pave the future of finance.
Well, thanks for the dynamic discussion. It's incredible to think about where this could all lead.
Definitely, the future looks bright and remarkably decentralized.